Hello everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota in the US, and I'm here to bring you a live paper crafting class. I don't have a script in front of me. I am not as prepared as I usually am. I don't have much in the description of the video, just so you know. Things have just been a little crazy around here, but it's all good. Today is Wednesday, July. See, I don't have a script in front of me. June 11th, 2025 at 11 a.m. Central Time as I'm coming to you live. And I did create yesterday. I created, in fact, a couple different project ideas. So one of them I'm saving for my Saturday live, and the other one I'm going to share with you today. And I hope that you love what I'm going to share with you. You don't know because there was no description, there was no picture beforehand. So I will tell you, we're going to play around with that washi tape again, that wonderful, I think it's called, what is it called? It's called Extraordinary Floral, I think. Extraordinary Floral Washi Tape, and then the dies that coordinate with it. And we're also going to be playing around with some other unique dies that they don't cut all the way. I sort of got this idea because I was gifted a set of dies from my friend Marcia Mendenhall, who I notice is on here. She sent me the Scenic Adventure dies, and I quickly put together a very, very simple card with them when I first got them. And I thought, you know what, let's play on this. Let's do something fun with this. So I will show you that card first, and then I'll show you the cards that I am going to, then I'll start creating, okay? Let's welcome Trisha Joseph. Trisha is my moderator. She is here to answer questions, although the poor thing, she has very little to go by because she doesn't know. She doesn't even have a peek at the projects. I did at the last minute, I think it was like 15 minutes before the live, I added in the supplies. The only thing I didn't add in there was like tape, just regular like Scotch tape for masking, or you could use Post-it notes or something like that. But hopefully Trisha, please, oh please, I hope that you come back again and again and again, even after my unorganized debut here for this project. These are pretty cards. In fact, I have more than just one to share with you. So after I share with you the Scenic Adventures version that I created with those dies, and I demonstrate, then I have two other versions. So, and it's so fun. We have 138 viewers right now. Please like, please subscribe, and tune in every Wednesday, most every Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we are having our big, huge local garage sale. It's so huge that we actually got a food truck this year. And so I have lots of my paper crafting friends involved in this sale, demonstrators, people who are in my community of Stampin' Up! Demonstrators were invited to be a part of this sale, and a lot of the local ones did take part. And so we're going to have a huge amount of goodies at great discounts. So you can check out more information if you subscribe to my newsletter, blog posts, all that sort of thing. Let's go to the desktop, shall we? I don't have a PDF. That's something else I don't have ready for today. But yes, we just have had lots of things going on, including my son graduating. So my youngest son graduated last weekend officially at the ceremony. And then this past weekend we had the big party. So we've been tidying up from that. Okay, we are going to go ahead to the desktop, and I'm going to show you the card that I did with Scenic dies. So these are the dies that I got from Marcia, and they are lovely. They go with the paper pumpkin kit that was last month's paper pumpkin kit. I didn't get them in time to create with that paper pumpkin kit, but I saw a lot of people using these because they have that same look. So Mountain Majesties was that kit. In fact, speaking of paper pumpkin, those kits are processing right now. So fun. So this is the card I created with it. And I just did a very simple white on white, as you can see. So it's basic white cardstock. I've got some rhinestones in here that I actually colored. It's hard to see the color on the rhinestones, but I colored them with, I believe it was my light Mossy Meadow light Mossy Meadow blends markers. And so they have just a tinge of of green in them. And then this stamp comes from the stamp set called The Right Words. Now notice the uniqueness of these dies. They don't cut out all the way. They only go to, you know, a certain edge. They don't cut out from the bottom. So there's no shape that you actually pull out of your paper when you've cut them. So you can kind of get that little lifted look here and there. This is another die that's from that. That's the grass die. So you have your mountain, you have your like grassy, like, you know, tumbleweed kind of look here. And then we have some trees, bigger trees that you would put in the foreground or lower front type look. We have water, we have some flowers. Oh, and this is cute, so cute. We've got some logs, some fire, another little tree, another little mound of mountain. And then these create like little stars in the sky and a moon. So it's a really fun set of dies. I do have a link to that in the description of the video, but I'm not using that on the rest of the cards. Okay, stop for hair. Little hair commercial right now. I am wearing another wig that is new because Rachel is addicted. This is a new wig. This one's called Mira by Amore, but it's in a different color because you've seen me in another Mira with kind of a darker shade, kind of more of a ashy, dark blonde. They call it blonde, brown, and together that's called blonde, which is interesting. Sorry, learning all this wig language. But this one is in the color Melted Sand, so it has more of a summer look to it. And I love the short bob. It's so much fun. All right, so peeking over at some comments here. It's fun to see all of you chiming in. Thank you for chiming in. We are now at 175 viewers, you guys. This is awesome. And thank you for all the likes. All right, let's move on. We're going to take, oh, and here's the inside. There's the inside of the card, okay? Love this stamp set. Let's take a peek at the stamp set right now. It's called The Right Words, and it has like outside, inside sentiments for pairing up to make your cards, right? So you have, for example, thinking of you, ... a lot, right? This would go on like the front of the card. This would go on the inside. Another one, let's see here. Happy birthday, obviously. We just showed that one to someone worth celebrating every single day. Now, sadly, I have a friend whose husband passed away. She's pretty much my best friend. I love her dearly. We've known each other since grade school, and her husband passed away, I want to say about a month back now, and they're having their service this Saturday. So we are going to make a sympathy, which I like to call empathy card, because you try to, you know, not feel sorry for someone, but feel with them, right? So we're going to cut our cardstock. This is 8.5 by 11 cardstock, basic white. We're going to cut it in half at 5.5 inches. So I've just set up my paper so that it's at the 5.5 inch mark up here. The edge of my cardstock is right flush with this edge of the trimmer here. And now I've got two pieces. I can make two cards with this. I'm going to zoom out just a bit here. I think that we're a little too close. And then we're going to turn it this direction now. So half of 8.5. Thanks, Debbie. Thanks, Jenny. Hi, Jenny. Good to see your name pop up. So we have half of 8.5, which is 4.25 inches. And we're going to use the light blade now this time, and we're going to score. So again, we'll put it right up to the top of that trimmer, or you can use the bottom. A lot of people use the bottom edge of the trimmer. So it's up to you how you want to do it. You have measurements at the top and the bottom. And we're going to score. And now we have our card base. And I am using just basic white cardstock. I'm not using the thick. You can, but I find that with all the layers that I'm going to add to this card, that, there's not a ton, but I just think that when I'm going to add a layer onto the inside. So it's going to thicken it up a bit. So we're going to have another layer here and another layer here just for consistency. So it becomes thick cardstock in a sense. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece and we're going to cut it to 5 3/8. So we're going just 1/8 of an inch below. So 5 3/8. And then we're going to cut at 4 1/8. And another 4 1/8. And these are going to become the layers for the outside and inside of the card. Now, you might say to yourself, why are you making a layer for the inside? And that's because if we mess up we can flip it over. And with stamps that are not photopolymer or not totally clear, sometimes, you know, you guess at how you mount your stamps. You hope that you mount them correctly. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait a minute, it looks like it's angling up. So you'd want to flip it over, okay? All right. Oh, thank you, guys. You're so sweet. I appreciate your sentiments. Yes, it is sad because, you know, I don't know. You never want to lose a loved one, and to have your husband lose their husband, or have your best friend lose their husband is just, it's like, wow, just devastating. Okay, we're going to do a quick little commercial here because a lot of you want to know how to put these stamps together. And I have to tell you, and I haven't done these videos too often, but I'm just going to do a quick little side thing here and teach you. Because these here, you can put your stamps together according to the visual directions on here. But I learned a great idea from Julie Davison a long time ago. And I'm going to show you what she does and what I've been doing ever since. So let me just clear off this one here. Well, we've got a block. So we're going to do it directly using a block, which allows your stamp to stay flat. It just gives you a little bit more, I don't know, steadiness when you're doing it. Now, one side of your labels has a split, okay, and the other side does not. So you want to look at the side that has the split, and I like to bend up the corner on each side of that split just so that I can grab those pieces later on. Then you want to go under the edge of your image, and you don't want to peel so that you separate the image from the backing, but you want to grab underneath that image. Okay, so grab the whole image. So you've got the image and the backing pieces, and you're going to put that onto your clean, clear block. And I say clean, mine isn't clean. Please make it clean because you want to make sure that you know, you're not dealing with messiness as you go. Then you see how those little tabs, they allow you to just peel that right off. Now we have our image on our block. You can see the outside of the image if you put it against something dark. So let's just grab something dark. I always grab my Stampin' Pierce mat. Okay, can you see the outline of the image? So now we're going to take this, the rubber that matches, we're going to peel off the backing on that, and we're going to make sure that we are going the right direction. I really don't like that you're leaving. Okay, so this is the top. We're going to flip it over. This is the top. And against a dark background, you can see where that label is going as you press it into place. You can use the edge of that label because it usually lines up really well with your stamp. And after you've done that, you're good to go. And your stamp is actually ready to use. It's a lot quicker than the directions that come in the visual imagery on your inside of your label there, or your stamp set. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna put that off to the side, put this off to the side. We're ready to create this card. So for this card, I'm gonna be using the washi dies. The washi dies. These are called the washi dies. You do that too, Donna? Yay! All right, so these dies on my little magnetic sheet. Sorry, I thought I was flipping this part over. Extraordinary Flora. And they coordinate with this washi tape, this Flora washi tape. It's amazing. Extraordinary Flora washi tape. There's also a stamp set that coordinates with it, so you can stamp this image and then put the whole die on top of the image, but I haven't bought that yet. I've only bought the washi tape. So we're going to take some scrap, and I've got lots of scraps here, just all kinds. I'm going to take some scrap. Whoops. Is that okay, it's not a folded one. And we're going to unroll a section. Now this is a section. You can see there's a little bit of a bigger gap there, and then it moves into like the red and more yellow, warmer tones. We're just going to go ahead and put this section down onto the card stock. Trying to get it all within because we want to die cut that whole thing. Okay, so now we can take and cut away. And I'm going to cut away in this direction because I don't want to accidentally cut through that flower there, right? We can use that. So I'm just cutting it this way without using the cardstock edges. Okay, then I can just roll that, set that aside for next time. There's a ton. I mean, look at how thick that is. You guys, everybody wants this, right? Everybody wants this. So we're going to smooth it all out, get all those wrinkles out. Isn't that pretty? It has a real fun, waxy kind of sheen to it, kind of like matte photo, right? So now we're going to take and line this up. We'll use some sticky notes. I forgot to mention those too. Sorry about that, Trisha. We're going to use some sticky notes. And we will line up our die right over the top. And then you want to find like a place in your die that has a big gap, like right in the middle here. There's a big gap, and then I want to connect it out to the side. We're going to bring in our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. We're also going to bring in one of our card layers, and we're going to bring in dies from this set. This is the Beautiful Motifs die set, and 1, 2, 3. 3 of those dies, these 3 here, don't cut all the way. They're partial cutting dies, just like we saw in the Scenic Adventure. These will cut all the way out, but these will not. We're going to take this one because it's my favorite. Is this everyone else's favorite? Like, this is the best one in the whole thing. All right, so we're going to grab those, put that aside. My room, can you see the mess behind me? It's crazy, you guys. We are preparing for the garage sale. Well, I am, at least. Everybody else is too at their own house. But this is a start of my things that I need to price. All right, let's bring in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Yeah, it's a week away, and Rachel hasn't even priced yet. I will. We just have a lot going on here. We've got our platform. Let's see here. I'm going to turn it so you can see the numbers. So we have our base platform number 1, die adapter plate number 2, cutting plate number 3, doesn't matter which side, and then another cutting plate for on top. I like to keep my scratchier one always on the bottom, connected with the cutting portions of the dies, and then I put my other one on top. So let's send that through. Oh yeah, we need another Post-it note because it's wiggling. I think we'll just do one at a time, okay? I was gonna try to cut once, or once or twice, but we're gonna have to cut a few times here. Okay, I hope that's okay. So let's stick these Post-it notes in here. Keep that from moving. Ah! Okay, we need stronger Post-it notes. Look at these little guys, these flags. Plus they're smaller. We'll try this again. So how is everybody doing? I hope your worlds are calm where you're at, calm and relaxed. Oh my goodness. Life is good though. You have to ride the roller coaster. It's just part of life, right? Okay, now we've got it ready. We're gonna sandwich that, keep it still, and make sure it's lined up. Looking one more time at all those dies. We're gonna crank it through. Hey, thanks Brenda. I appreciate it. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and slide this off. And underneath here, and some of them will separate, but underneath here you can see all the cuts. Okay, I'm gonna flap that down onto the side of my table here. Try to get those out. We'll grab those little sticky notes again. And we got it clear. We're good to go. Let's do the next die cutting. That's gonna be for the front layer of our card. I'm going to stick some things in the garbage can here. Okay, for the next die cutting step, we're going to do set it up the same way. We're going to do this piece, and we're going to have a horizontal or landscape card. I'm going to go up a little higher than the one that I had done for my example card, which you're going to see later on. There was a thing that I wanted to do, and it doesn't look the way I want it to look. So we're going to bring this up, and we're going to bring it up halfway. Yeah, about halfway. We're going to flip this over and we're going to see where those dies are meeting up. And I think that's where I want it to go. So we'll hold that in place. Sticky notes are great. Okay. Oops. All right. Hey, thanks Trisha for giving a tip. I don't know what tip you gave, but Jean is very grateful. All right, now let's flip that over. You can see we've got the cuts on there. We're going to peel off the Post-it notes. Did I call this washi tape earlier? Sorry. We're going to peel off the little Post-it flags. We're going to flip this around. And now we're going to come in and die cut again. And I'm checking to see where I die cut before. I think it was here. So we're going to cut again, but we're not doing the whole thing. So we're going to flip it over and we're going to make sure that those leaves are within, because we don't want to have like, well, you'll see. You'll see when I'm done. Okay, so let's stick it like that. Like that. So in fact, I can show you from this side. Do you see how that one's almost to the end? I'm glad that it didn't get cut off because I want that leaf to be whole. I think it looks better when it's a whole leaf than a partial leaf. Oh, that's going to be so fun. I'm already flipping them up and we're not ready for that yet. Hang on. So we're checking. Yep, we're good. Let's bring this back over here because I'm right-handed. I like to crank with my right hand going forward. Does everybody here have like a way that they use their trimmer or their die cutting machine? You know, based on right-handed, left-handed. How many of you like to use your paper trimmer opposite of what I do, where you cut it with the paper positioned at the bottom? Love to know. All right, so here we go. We're going to peel that off, pull off the washi tape, the Post-it flags. See, I got washi tape stuck in my head. Okay, peel that up and off. And there you can see the gorgeousness of what we have. We're going to pop these up. See, we're making them have some dimension to them. And none of this is cutting out completely. It's all just partial cuts. So we're going to get them worked so that they have kind of that memory of being up away from the paper instead of on. Work with this side too. Okay, so we have that going through the middle of our paper. Normally I put it behind me. There's no room behind me. Okay, next. We're going to take our flowers that we just cut. And we're going to bring those in so we can look at all the goodness. I love this. This is so fun, you guys. Oh my goodness, I love these. So bring those all in. And our stamps, we need our stamp. Oops, come on Rachel, get those fingernails working. And we need our stamps. So let's grab that stamp set again so you can see it. For this one, this is one of my favorites. We're going to use this along with that one there. So forever loved, forever remembered. We'll bring that stamp in and we're going to stamp it below where this little intersecting area is. Okay, let's test it on our grid paper. To keep our grid paper that is on the table looking nice, I'm just going to pull in this grid paper here. We'll fold it in half. We're going to use the lines to kind of make it, you know, help us out here, right? We're going to use those lines as guides. So we're hoping that Rachel mounted the imagery on this side the same way it should show on the back side. So I'm going to use those lines, following the lines on the grid paper, stamping it down. Yay! It looks good. Okay. It's exactly where I wanted it to stamp. So now, after practicing, we can take and ink that up. And we're going to stamp it right between these two large leaves. Nice and straight. like that. This is how I wish my card would have turned out. You'll see the other version, but there we go. And then for the inside of the card, we also need that landscape. So that will have this one. I did choose black for my ink, but you could use whatever, like if you want to use one of the colors that's in the washi tape, or maybe a basic gray so it's not so stark, you could do that. For this one, I'm going to stamp a little bit lower than middle. Oh, and I didn't test it, did I? Let's test it. Let's just test it to make sure. Practice stamping. Okay, and I think I have it lined up with the grid paper lines. It's hard because I can't like put my head completely over or I'll block the camera. I love doing, yeah, wigs are fun, you guys. Everybody should have wigs. That looks pretty straight, so we're going to go with that. Using the top and bottom of the card as a guide, and I'm going just slightly lower because I'm going to put something above it. Press that down. Don't ever rock your stamps because you may have ink on the edges right along here, and if you rock them as you press, that ink can transfer onto your paper, and then we get what's called a halo. So yeah, so be careful about that. We'll set our ink and our stamps off to the side. We've got the outside and the inside ready. We're going to go ahead and attach using my bone folder. Where did it go? Bone folder, here it is. To flatten that down. So now we can see what is the front and what's the back. This is the back to me because I can see both layers from that edge. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp on this side. Secret C would be great. Now this piece is going to go up on dimensionals. So I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensionals under the four corners. I've got two sizes of dimensionals with me because there are some cards which I'll show you. Where are they? Oh, they're right here in front of me. I have the minis. Those are tiny. And I have the regular. Regular takes up more surface area, of course. So we're going to add those in each of the four corners. And then I'm also going to put some washi tape florals right in the middle here. So I don't want to have, because I want to pop those up with dimensionals in the middle, I don't want to have any dimensionals right here, but I could put one here and maybe right here and here. We're also going to have some little accent, like pearl type things there going through. So I don't want to be in the way of that. So I think I'll put a dimensional behind here and here. Okay. So let's just flip that over. This is the spot. We could put small ones there. We could put big ones. Doesn't matter. Okay, we'll stick those down. We'll take off all the backings. Put that in the garbage pile. Pop up all of those leaves. Make sure that they are good and shadowy. Good and shadowy. And we will center this. Now we have a very thin border of white underneath. So when you center this, you really have to eyeball all the way around because it's just a 1/16 of an inch because we only cut our top layer 1/8 of an inch difference in both directions. So you're going to have a 1/16 of an inch all the way around. This one can go on the inside because we didn't mess up how we stamped. Again, so you have two sides to your paper in case you mess up. And we'll set that in here, right in this spot. Plus, I think it just gives a more regal look when you have that layering on the inside too. Okay, so now let's pick out the pieces that we're going to use, and I think I'll use these three. We'll move those up and out of the way for now. We're going to take and put dimensionals on the back side of two of these. Actually, did I do it on both or just one? No, I just did it on one. Ha! Good thing Rachel looked. So we'll put one on the back of this large flower. This one we're going to add with just like seal, or you could use multi-purpose liquid glue, you know, whatever is easiest for you. Take these two pieces and hold them at the same time and kind of figure out how that's going to look in this little cluster here. And I think that is the look I want. So there's that. Let's take this third one and add that with just seal, because it's going to be on the inside of the card. You don't want a lot of dimension on the insides of your cards. Okay, so we'll add that one and we'll just have it sit like that. Okay, now the front, we'll go back to the front and we're going to bring in some really pretty accent pieces. We have rhinestones and we have not too many pearls left. We're going to work with the pearls, but I'll show you how I use the rhinestones on other cards. So we're going to open these up and bring in blends markers. Okay, blends markers. The two colors that I'll be using are Mossy Meadow, and all the colors come in a 2-pack, a light and a dark. So we'll be using the Mossy Meadow color, and we'll be using the Shy Shamrock color. These greens, oops, oh, now we got to get our finger under there and pop them back out. These greens are the greens that I kind of see in here. I see some olive, kind of a mossy look. Now, I would consider that more old olive, but with blends markers coloring onto pearls or rhinestones, you want to pick a darker shade because it's not gonna color as dark. So we're gonna use the lighter of this anyways to get more close to an old olive look. And then for the other one, we will use the darker of the two, which I believe is this one, Shy Shamrock. Okay, let's start coloring. I'm gonna do 3 of each color. The brush tip, or the, is it called a brush tip? That gives you the most surface area when you're coloring, but if you want to, because the brush tip is very fragile, if you want to, you could take and use your bullet tip instead, which stays nice and strong. It takes a lot longer to color though. Do you see what I've gotten there? It's a nice old olive, light old olive kind of look. Same thing with this color now. So we'll do a large. It's a really pretty blue here that you get with this Shy Shamrock. It's kind of a aqua color, right? So I've got a couple of those. Cap it all the way. This is alcohol-based markers. Alcohol-based markers will color onto, onto plastic, onto rhinestones, onto ribbons, onto vellum. Like it's an interesting type of ink that allows it, that goes further than, into different areas than you would get with a water-based marker. Let's grab our Take Your Pick tool. One of my favorite ways to grab embellishments nowadays is to take the tacky end of the Take Your Pick tool, push it against your embellishment, push, slide, and lift. And it allows your Take Your Pick tool to grab it. It's so fun, so cool, and it's so quick. So we'll just go ahead and decorate by adding a few of these little gems here and there. We'll add another one maybe right in here. Oops, maybe that's not where we're going to add it. Maybe right there where the leaf isn't going to get pressed down. And then we'll do a couple more off to the lower right here. Let's go here and here. So there is the finished card. It's so easy and so pretty, and just a nice sympathy card, empathy card to gift to somebody. And you have room to write in here. You can shift where this is if you want it to be up higher, so you have more room to write. You can. There's one card. This is the other version of it. So you can see I started a little lower, which I loved at first, and then I was like, shoot, the sentiment that I want to use in here just will not fit. So I took and masked. I took some tape. You could also use Post-it notes, but I took and masked my stamp. So you'll have to watch past videos because I'm not going to demonstrate that today, but you take and you put tape over the top of a clean stamp where you don't want ink to go. Then you ink up the stamp, peel off the tape, and the only part that's inked up is the part that you intended on inking up. So that's how I got the Forever Loved on this side. And then on the inside, I wanted to still include that Forever Remembered. So kind of did like a flow into this little part here. Not so sure. And then I was like, bummer, let's just make more room on this card. So that is the look that you can get with those products. Very pretty. I have 2 more cards to share with you. So let me bring those on in. And I'm going to spread out the rest of this washi tape so you can see the options that I had left over to use for the other cards. For that first card that I shared with you, I did use this one and this one. Okay, and I don't think I did anything on the inside. I did not. So I used these 2 on that first card, tucked into this little strip that's 5/8 inches tall. And it's put up with 2 dimensionals. These little pieces are up on dimensionals, but I did use a smaller little dimensional on this one because it overlapped and I wanted to make sure that it would have some room. So that's how I did that card. Then, and I think I used the Mossy Meadow. I did. I used the Mossy Meadow green on here. Again, super hard to see in the video, but it's a greenish color, and I used the dark one to color in the rhinestones. The rhinestones don't grab color as well as the pearls because the pearls have a white background to them, right? And the rhinestones have a clear background. So you're going to see more intense color when you color on pearls. Okay, and then for this card, this one is using the die that looks like the little corner one right here. Okay, so I did that in each of the 2 corners. Because it went really close to the corners, under here is where I have the smaller dimensionals. So I have smaller dimensionals up in those 2 corners, regular here, because these 2 pieces, oh, and I think I cut twice. This piece and the one that you would get with a second run through are just flat on here. They're tucked into the part that's lifted up. So I just tucked them in and then stuck them down with some seal adhesive on the back. The colors that are here are the Shy Shamrock. Also, no, I think I did this one light. This is the light Shy Shamrock. And this one here is Mossy Meadow. And I did that one in the lighter, Mossy Meadow. Misty Moonlight, okay? Misty Moonlight, I did that with the lighter of the 2. All right? I do have dimensionals here and on this side. So dimensional, and then 1 in each of the 4 corners. Plus I have this part popped up. So that's why I didn't put any dimensionals underneath the middle in this card, because I knew I was going to have a circle punched out with the 2-inch circle punch. Boy, that surface is getting scratchy on that punch, isn't it? But I stamped first and then I punched it out, stuck that on the front of the card. I wish I had the right words for a time like this, but just know how much I love and care about you. So you have another partnering sympathy card type of sentiment set in this stamp set. The last one is using this one. So I used this die twice, and I did an up and down portrait or vertical positioned card. So then we have these little frillies coming up and down the left side of the card. On the rhinestones, I used the darker, no, I did not. On the rhinestones, I used an outgoing color. Wild Wheat is leaving us. The blends, as of this morning in the US, are still available, and they create a gold look. All right, so if you're looking for gold rather than what looks like silver with the rhinestones typically, all you have to do is add Wild Wheat blends to your rhinestones and you have gold instead of silver rhinestones. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to see the difference in here, isn't it? But they've got a yellow tone to them to coordinate with the leaves that are on the washi tape here. You're So Kind is just a banner that's 1 inch tall. So it's just a little strip that's 1 inch tall. And I tucked it underneath my 2 flowers that were raised up with dimensionals. So I have one at each end and then dimensionals under these two. The You're So Kind paired up with, you can see here, just because of the fonts, right? So you can see the fonts here, they pair up really well with this one here. Thanks so much for thinking of me. Now, I masked again. I did not stamp the whole thing. I just put thanks so much. That way, I could use this thank you in more of a general way for when I want to give this card away. And I just put a single little flower from the red batch, when the warmer colors, when I cut those out. This one would have been the red version of that. And these, of course, are the red version of this one, and etc. Right? So we're going to scoot those off to the side. Bring those all in so you can see them all. And I did see the question got answered about which dies were the other ones. The description of the video always includes, or up until like 10 minutes before the video, it will include, no, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that they were so late, you guys. It's crazy. And I still have to finish the description of the video, but there, can we see them all? I hope so. Oh, this light isn't even on. I'm thinking, no wonder why. Hang on. Oh, something happened with my light. Okay. Well, we'll have to re-plug that in because for some reason, oh, there it goes. My finger just wasn't strong enough. Maybe you can see the colors of the rhinestones better now. Let's just take a peek there. Is that better? Can you see the gold on them now? I didn't have my little light, this one here. I didn't have that one on. I thought I did. Oh, well, if that's the only thing I messed up on during the live, that's crazy cool because seriously, I wasn't ready until 10 minutes before the video happened. So crazy. Okay, next Saturday, this Saturday, I should say, I do have a live again, and then I have to take off because that is when my friend's memorial service is for her husband. But I'm going to be sharing with you one of the newer kits and just a slight alteration on it. I may have something else in there. I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking about how much time I'll have, but that is the plan at this point. So if you're a kit person, you might want to come check it out. As far as information goes, I'm just going to go quickly to my video. I want to make sure that I have covered everything because we have some stuff going on. We have what is it? A sale, basically on sweet stuff. What do I mean by sweet stuff? Let me bring. Hang on a minute. I'm going to bring a incognito window up on my computer so that you can see some of the stuff that's going on, okay? So there we go. All right, so I'm going to take you over to the computer. We are on the computer. This is my website, stampyourartout.com. Just go to stampyourartout.com and you can find all of the goodness that I'm going to share with you right now. So if we just scroll down, you can see the latest post. These cards will post on my blog. I can't promise you when. Lots of things happening still in our family. But I'm going to click on the last post that I did here just so that you can see. We did a show and share video and I talked about this card and how to make it and all that stuff. And if we scroll down, you can see news starts happening. So at the bottom of posts is where you're going to see news. Like this is an announcement about products that will be debuting in July. A new little glue holder from the Country Hive. And then here we have 2 new kits, okay? And I wish I could move my little video screen, but I can't with the way that the video in video is working right now. So forgive me. Maybe I'll have to have another, I'll figure it out for next time. But anyways, Pop-Up Pails kit. That's the one that I'm going to play around with on Saturday. But there's a couple new kits. If you scroll even further, underneath the supplies, you can see news about events, promotions, tutorials that are available, that sort of thing. So if you follow my blog or you get my newsletters, you're going to get this news every time in an email. or you can just visit my website at stampyourartout.com to access it all. But here we go. Garage sale, that's next week. It's a local event. We don't sell online for this one, but I still advertise it because there's a lot of people that are local to me that follow my website. And so I want to make sure that everybody knows about it. And in fact, we have people that drive from other states. I think North Dakota, South Dakota has visited, Iowa, Wisconsin. Tell me if you've come and you've been further than that. But it's going to be huge. It's a big one. I think this is the biggest one we've had. Here's the sweet sale information. So we're having a sale. Stampin' Up! Is having a sale. So you'll find this in all the markets. Australia, Europe, New Zealand, all of that. All the markets are included in this sale because it's a Stampin' Up! Promotion. US included, North America, Canada. Anyways, if you purchase any product that is in a suite and then you purchase another product that is in a suite, the less expensive of the two is going to be half off. You got to play a game with it though, because the price ranges go from a whole full suite to a tiny roll of ribbon. So you may want to split your order into two parts so that if you're going to buy two suites, one of them becomes half off. Seriously, you can get a whole suite for half off if you buy it as a suite with another suite. And then maybe place another order for those smaller things, okay, like ribbons and embellishments and that sort of thing. So that's what's happening here. Virtual Album Retreat is coming up. I am going to add a link here that's going to go to someone else's video because I found a demonstrator in Australia who did an amazing box opening for this suite, or this kit. And you really discover that you're getting a lot more than what you're paying for it. It's going to be an amazing event. It's a product-based event. You purchase the kit of products and then you get invited to this event. Anyways, I could go into it more and more, but I'm going to put a link to her video. I hope it's okay with her. But I'm going to send you there so that you can see the ins and outs of this kit because it's crazy cool. So I'll add that later on today, hopefully. Last Chance products got refreshed. New online exclusive products are coming soon. Here it talks about the two new kits. And Paper Pumpkin. This is the last thing I'm going to mention right now today. Paper Pumpkin, so cool. We have information on the next 3 months, and that just got shared today. I think a lot of people might have even gotten some information last night if they were demonstrators. But we have the Sweeter With You kit now. If you activate your Paper Pumpkin subscription, you can get in on July's kit, which will process and ship July 11th or soon after. So you have to be subscribed by July 10th in order to get this kit. Okay? So check it out. There's also dies, new dies that go with it. Fun, fun, fun. Thanks, Pam, for the reminder about the thumbs up. Karen wants to come to the garage sale. Yay! And it's so funny. For all the years that we've been doing this sale, I keep calling it a garage sale. I should call it like Mega Crafters Sale or something. But the thing is, we also put in there like furniture, and we used to put in stuffed animals from the kids or clothes from the kids when they were little, So it is kind of like a garage sale, but the whole garage, not the outside of the garage, but the whole inside of the garage is filled with paper crafting goodness, like tables and tables full. And then underneath the tents that extend outside the garage are where you'll find those other things. So it's crazy. Thank you, Michelle. Yes, you guys have a great rest of your week. Next week, I will not be live. I'm going to go live on Saturday for my second kind of fun extra live. So you'll be able to access that. There's actually a link to a calendar in the description of my video. And if you click on that Google Calendar, you can see upcoming lives and then know to visit my channel at that time. Anyways, the next live after Saturday won't be until I think the 25th because of the garage sale. So I'm not doing a live during the garage sale. Can you imagine? That would be crazy. All right. Yay! Vay's coming. I know that you live pretty close. That's awesome. Yay. I'm glad that you're coming. Anyways, take care. Oh, and you get to see Trisha if you come too, because my moderator, she's going to be there both days. All right. Well, I love you all, and I appreciate all of you visiting. Again, blog posts will be connected to this video soon. Just a little extra more on the description will be added in there soon. If you're watching after the live is over, ignore all of these "they'll be added soon" kind of things, because they will be added. But I hope that you had fun, and thank you for allowing me to be less organized today. Thanks so much, everyone. Appreciate you. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.